What's up, guys? It's your boy, Number One Steve here. Was it Number One Steve? Yeah, it's Number One Steve. And I'm bringing you another Monday Night Raw review today. I couldn't do it yesterday because I had to work 2:45 to 11, but I'm off work today, and I'm ready to do the review. So, Monday Night Raw starts off with the McMahons, Mr. McMahon, Vince, and Stephanie in the ring. And they're basically just cutting a promo about the Rumble, how the title's going to be on the line, and how anybody can win and be the new champ. And that's pretty much it. They were just hyping that up. Nothing new. Reigns came out and they informed him that to prepare for the Royal Rumble, he's going to be in a 1 versus all match later on in the main event. So, the first match, so I gave that whole thing a C because, it was alright, wasn't nothing special, So then, they also say that Sheamus will take on Ambrose in the first match. Ambrose gets jumped from behind because all the superstars were on the front of the stage. So Ambrose gets jumped from behind, and they have their match. And, obviously it starts off with Sheamus getting the upper hand, but, Dean turns it around, and they both eventually get counted out. And it was a good match. It was good. And, obviously, Kevin Owens jumped Ambrose from behind. And that was pretty much it. I think they have a match on SmackDown. So, I'm not sure, but if not, they'll definitely have their rematch again at, Royal Rumble. So, for that whole contest right there, I give it a B. So, next we had Stardust taking on Titus O'Neil again, and I gave that an F, because this feud that they're doing makes absolutely no sense. They're feuding because Titus wants Cody Rhodes to go back to being Cody Rhodes and stop being Stardust. And, everything like that. And it just doesn't make any sense. So, I gave it an F. Plus, it's not interesting and no one cares. Alright, so then, and I rarely get Fs in anything in WWE. Next, we had the highlight reel with the New Day. Chris Jericho comes back, talks about how he's going to win the Rumble. New Day comes out, they have going back and forth, talking about Rudy Tooty Booty and everything like that. And then, obviously, the Usos come out, and they set up a match with Jericho and Xavier Woods being in their team's respective corners. So, this is interesting, the fact that the Usos are coming, that Chris Jericho comes back and he has a feud with the New Day. And it wouldn't surprise me if one of them took him out of the Rumble. But still, So, next, obviously, I gave that a D. So, then we had the Usos taking on the New Day, and again, something that we've seen before, and I gave it a C because it wasn't a boring match. It was a good match. It's exciting, but, it's just the same thing. 1 week New Day wins, the next week Usos win, and then they have the tag team title match, and then the Usos lose, or Loose Dragons lose, and that was pretty much how it always goes. What's his name? The New Day aren't going to lose the titles till WrestleMania, but it'll be interesting as to who they will lose it to. Will it be a new tag team, like a team from NXT, or a team that's from another promotion comes and beats them, or what's gonna happen? Will it be the Dudley Boys? Will they finally win their team title? Who knows? All right, so then we had the Hall of Fame announcement of who will be the first inductee, and it was Sting. Obviously, the news broke earlier in the day, but Sting's going in the Hall of Fame. And when you're going in the Hall of Fame, that pretty much means your career is over. So, Sting going in the Hall of Fame, I guess that would mean that he's done. I mean, I guess that last neck injury was really it for him. And it's just quite a shame because he had to have had a pretty sucky career in the WWE. See, how he come earlier when everyone else came, boy, I'm telling you right now, we could have been had Taker versus Sting. Obviously, Taker would have won. I mean, the other pay-per-views, then Sting could have won. I don't care. But obviously, at WrestleMania, Sting would have lost. But let's say Sting is clear, right? Well, who is Sting going to face in his last match? And if he's having a last match, he obviously has to win that, right? And with Cena gone, Taker needs an opponent, and I really don't want to see him versus Kane. I damn sure don't want to see him versus Braun Strowman, but I don't want to see him versus Kane. I don't want to see him Undertaker lose, retire 22-2. But if he's facing Sting needs a win, but Taker doesn't need to retire 22-2. Like, what's the point of the streak if you're gonna have him lose his last match? Now, had that been his last match and the streak was over, I would have been happy about it. But that makes sense. But having him retire 22-2, come on, I don't think Vince would do that to him. I mean, there have been a lot of rumors going around that this will be his final year. I mean, it does make sense now, It doesn't make sense for him to stay any longer. But, you know, if it is his last match, you know, let's enjoy the time that we have with him left, guys. No more complaining. Next, we had the Wyatt family taking on the Social Outcast. It was weird, the reason why they were fighting, because they're both heels. And when I say Social Outcast, I really literally mean 3MB 2.0. So, they had a match for like, how long they have a match for? Like 2 minutes before Ryback came out, and like the Wyatt family all left, so, you know, nothing didn't happen, so it was deep. What did get me surprised was Kalisto versus Alberto Del Rio for the United States Championship. And he, what do you call it? Oh, he beat him. You know, I knew that they were going to fight for the United States title. I just thought it was going to be at the, number one, I thought it was going to be at the Rumble. And that's where I thought he was going to beat him. But he beat him on Raw, and everyone was happy. If their goal was to make him the next Rey Mysterio, they have officially succeeded. Where Sin Cara plays in all this, I really don't know. He'll be out for a while because he has his own injury, shoulder separation. But, you know, Kalisto, I'm happy and proud of you. But here's the second thing, right? So, you know, I don't watch SmackDown, but unless it's, you know, something interesting. So I always check out the, what do you call it? The what's going to happen, since SmackDown is taped and it always gets put on the internet. So, I go on there, right, and it says Kalisto loses the title on SmackDown because King Barrett came out and interrupted. First of all, he should have did that Monday so Del Rio could keep the title and then have Kalisto win at the Rumble. Not have Kalisto win, and then his first title defense, he loses it, and it goes back to Del Rio. And then what? At the Rumble, they're going to have a rematch, and Del Rio will win again? Is that what's going to happen? How could you give the guy the title? That's treating him like Rey Mysterio right there, because Rey Mysterio won the title and said he lost it in the same day. He loses it on his first title defense, like, or his next match. Like, are you kidding me? Like, that's not fair. After everything that you've done, they're trying to raise him up and give him the crowd on his side and really like him and lucha. You take the title from him after you give it to him, he loses it to literally 24 hours. That doesn't make any sense. He better win at the Rumble, and he better keep the title after that. That's all I have to say on that. Next, we're going to have Charlotte taking on not Becky Lynch, Brie Bella, but the match never started because Becky Lynch attacked. And because since Ric Flair and his daughter, quote-unquote, heels now, well, Charlotte's a heel, but not Rick. You know, you can't boo Rick every time. You just gotta love Rick because he's Ric Flair. But, so he's like, since Becky Lynch attacked Charlotte, my daughter, she can't wrestle right now. So you blame Becky Lynch for that, you know? So they didn't fight, and I'm pretty sure, obviously now at the Rumble, we're gonna see Becky Lynch versus Charlotte. I think Charlotte should lose that match and give the title to Becky. I was wondering where Paige has been all this time, because she's like, I could have been like, I told you so, but she does have a concussion, and who knows when she'll be back. Man, bro, injuries in the WWE, man. Shoot. It's like me in the NFL. And if somebody in the NFL game, every NFL game, somebody gets hurt. That's just what happens in the game. In that type of game. But WWE, you know, a few people get hurt here and there, but it's been spontaneous. Back more and more and more and more and more. And finally, in the main event, we have Roman Reigns and his 1 versus all match. Of course, they were all heels who were the ones that he was going to face. It was him and Kevin Owens. Obviously, it wasn't going to be actually 1 versus all. It was just going to be that one match. And obviously, we all got that feeling because earlier in the night, Paul Heyman told Vince that he wants Brock Lesnar to face the winner of the Rumble at WrestleMania for the title. Vince said no. So obviously, we had that feeling of Brock's going to come out and attack everybody. And obviously, my feeling was correct, especially when Roman started getting beat up, and they were like, we want Brock! We want Brock! So Brock comes out, suplexes everybody, and then he F5s Roman Reigns, meaning that he's not face. He's at a heel, but he's in between. He's kind of like a Stone Cold, because Stone Cold wasn't a face, and he wasn't a heel. He's like, yo, you get in my way, you will get stunned either way. Kind of like Randy Orton, too. Like, if you get in my way, you'll get RKO'd. So, I said all that to say, Brock is in the Rumble. And knowing Brock, they'll probably have him at number 30. But this does change things up. It does once again say, well, now who's going to win the Rumble? Is Reigns going to win the Rumble? Is Triple H going to win the Rumble? Or is Brock Lesnar going to win the Rumble? Is Brock going to win? and then face Kevin Owens for the title? Is Triple H going to win and face Roman Reigns for the title? Is Roman Reigns going to retain? What's going to happen? Who's going to win the Rumble? This is good. This is the where you're like, okay, who's going to win? Before, when Reigns won the title, we were like, who's going to win the Rumble? Then they said that it's going to be, the WWE title was going to be online in the Rumble. And they were like, okay, now we know Triple H is going to win. But then you add Brock into this mix. Now you're like, okay, if Brock's in there, is he going to lose or is he going to win? Because if Brock's in the Rumble, he has won a Rumble before. But if he wins and he'll have the title, who's he going to face at Mania for the title? Because obviously Triple H will be facing Roman Reigns. So who's going to face him for the title? And it's just such confusion. And this is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. So, yeah. I gave that whole thing an A because, the match between Kevin Owens, it was alright. But the reason I gave it an A was because of the whole Brock thing, and plus because he F5'd Roman Reigns. So, that's pretty much been the Raw review. I know this is kind of a short video. I know normally ones are longer than this one, but I don't really have anything else to say, really. Yeah, with all the injuries, there's not really much to say. I mean, WrestleMania is going to be in a tough spot this year. It's supposed to be the biggest one ever in Dallas, Texas, home of the stinking Dallas Cowboys. But, I mean, no Cena, no Seth, no Randy Orton. Even Cesaro could have added something in there. So it's like, and we lost Sin Cara. So, if there was any hope of some kind of triple threat ladder match, you got the New Day, you got the Usos. You can include the Dudleys, or like I said, some kind of new tag team. Rock's going to be there, Stone Cold's going to be there, Cena apparently will be there in some kind of role. Who's Tate going to face? Who's Brock going to face? Obviously, the only match we know for sure is going to happen is Triple H and Roman Reigns. We obviously know that. Whether it's for the title or not, we don't know yet. WrestleMania is going to be interesting this year. It really will be. Take's last match, possibly Sting last match. It's going to be interesting this year, y'all. I may have to make another WrestleMania 32 prediction video. Because this is what WrestleMania is about. Especially around Royal Rumble time. Who's going to win? Who's going to win the title? Who's going on to main event WrestleMania? Who's facing who? This is what WrestleMania is about. The excitement, the thrill, the trying to figure out what it is that WWE is trying to do. Trying to look for any clue possible. So, yeah. But that's about it. I ain't got nothing else to say. So, I'm your boy Number One Steve. See you in the next video. And if you're not down with that, I've just got 2 words for you. Peace out.